My churches are filled with men who lust for power and women who are possessed by the spirit of exhibitionism. Modesty is crucified every Sunday and flogged every day of the week by those who call themselves my sons and daughters. And you ruin your children with your sentimental human definition of parental love, a love that neither rebukes nor limits. Know you not that in truth open rebuke is better than hidden love, that the wounds of a friend are faithful and helpful, but an enemy kisses profusely. Many parents are so deceived by their human authorities that they act more like enemies than friends to their children. Have you more faith in Freud and Spock than you do my chapters and verses that teach you how to discipline and the value of it? Do you think you're psychologists and behavioralists more enlightened than me? You withhold loving discipline from your children, thinking to set them free to be themselves, to be happy and express themselves, and they are freed indeed. Propelled by their urges to express every uncontrolled impulse, shuck every civil convention, throw off guiding traditions, embrace immodesty, sell their self-respect for gratification, forsake decorum and etiquette, disrespect parents and their elders, defy decency, and overturn order. Because of parental failure, teachers cannot teach, policemen cannot police, and civility cannot survive. Yes, these unyoked oxen disrupt homes, schools, marriages, churches, businesses, and their own futures. They become shackled by their own unbridled desires, neighing and snorting against the restraints meant to protect them. And then you seek to calm them with alchemy, training them for addictions. And you charm them, like poisonous cobras, with twisted psychology. You attempt to pacify these wild animals with toys and material distractions, but they grow wild, like kudzu, choking out any good that my common grace planted in them. America the beautiful, your beauty is a facade, a false front that hides your corruption. I have complaints against you, and you would do well to reflect upon my registration. I see behind your masks, and your grotesque visage cannot be secreted. Potentialed as you were, corrupt you have become. I gave you shiny shores, fruitful plains, and abundant resources because you promised me you would build a land where I would be worshipped freely according to the consciences of believers, and that my eternal principles would guide your leadership, communities, and your lives. You even invoked my name and raised up prayers to me when you sought to throw off the yoke of colonialism and declare your independence. And I responded favorably to your desires because you promised to build a nation that was just, for I am just. You promised to be a people who were kind, for I am kind. You promised to govern with equity and brotherly love, for I am love. Your founding documents name me as your benefactor and counselor. In kind, I became beneficent toward you. Shall I remain so? Are you unaware of the work I do to preserve you? Shall I continue? Your homeless population increases, casualties of unlimited greed. Your prisons overflow with victims of injustice and bias. Psychiatric wards are bursting. Child abuse is an epidemic, and sex trafficking a thriving business in your economy. That which is profane is sanctioned if it satisfies curiosity. Every indulgence, no matter how sinful, is excused if it is fun. Fun is your new religion, an invisible idol to which many lives are laid upon the altar. Pleasure is the new ethic that guides the people. Feelings are the litmus paper of truth. I no longer occupy the upper room of your minds. I am crowded out by your sensual imaginings and animalistic appetites. I never expected you to be a perfect nation, for you are mere humans whose flesh continually wars against your spirits. I was prepared to wait patiently for you to amend your laws according to equity. Change your culture according to truth, and train your citizenry to be true neighbors ruled by brotherly love. I gave you space and time to free those you had made merchandise of through one of the most cruel forms of slavery the world has witnessed, and I was pleased to see progress. And though many hearts remained unchanged toward the rights of those who descended from the people you enslaved, I was pleased that your courts moved to protect them from the heartless in your land. But now, the poor and disenfranchised have become enemies to your self-interest. And when the victims cry out for equity, the oppressors claim to be oppressed. I have waited for you to fill the land with common good, just as I fill the earth with common grace. But America the beautiful, your spirit has become distorted, and so I give you needed counsel and timely warnings. Though I am understanding, though I am patient, and though I am long-suffering, my tolerance has boundaries beyond which peoples and nations must not tread. For I will act, I will punish, I will discipline, I will see to it that you reap according to what you sow. Check the record, I have done so in the past. Sodom and Gomorrah burned, recorded in history as an example of my limits. A stubborn pharaoh in Egypt suffered my outrage through multitudinous plagues. And I sent conquerors from foreign lands to be my disciplinarians by crushing my beloved Israelites. Yes, America the beautiful, my expectations for this nation have been reasonable, attainable, and gracious. I only expected that your lawmakers, enforcers, and judges would act within the bounds of honor and integrity, that your leaders themselves would obey the laws they dispense, and would most often place the good of the people above their self-interest. I expected my church to teach the people my truths, and not excel in entertainment, and in making people comfortable in their vices and wicked practices. I expected your law enforcement officers to protect and serve all its citizens with an even hand. I expected this nation, my nation, would care for the least among you, for I have hungry there for you to feed. I have thirsty ones to whom I need you to give drink. I have strangers there yearning for hospitality. There are naked I need you to clothe, and sick who need to be visited. Some of mine are in prison waiting for you to come. For when you care for the least of these, you do it to me. But when you forsake the least, you also forsake me. America, why have you forgotten the poor, overlooked the widows, neglected your children, and forsaken the orphans? Is it not recorded that mistreatment of the poor, downtrodden, and misfortuned is an abomination to me? Do you think the poor and needy have ceased to matter to me? Do you remember that I suffered little children to come to me? For to such belongs the kingdom of heaven. Be assured, the helpless, downtrodden, and children are important to me. Know you not that I have given you plenty, so that you may take care of my poor and needy, my orphans and widows, my aged and infirmed? Are you intent on rousing me from my throne to defend the helpless, the powerless, and the victims of the rich and powerful? You and your leaders strain to fulfill your selfish desires, and in so doing enslave yourselves. You fasten on shackles that look like freedom. You crave technological conveniences, but the wicked use them to strip you of the rights I ordained. You are surrounded by sensual delights that so deaden your spirits that I am kept out. You empower lawless politicians and make normative, biased policing, wealth-favoring judiciaries, greedy gentrification practices, predatory lending, rapacious taxation, unjust redistricting, and even your homeowners' associations have become oppressive centers of cultural policing and profit-taking. Your social institutions betray your patriotic melodies and lyrical expressions as you sing,
"Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to be free."
and the world heard you, and they came, drawn to you because of the dream I gave you for America. They helped you build your cities, your technologies, your economy, and your armed forces. But then you turned on them and hated them because they desired to share in the wealth they helped build. Have you not heard of the plight of the rich man who refused to share his crumbs with Lazarus? Do you think you are so rich, so favored and elite, that you will escape his condemnation, or not suffer a similar fate? Beware! America the beautiful, mighty nations have fallen before because of the rot within, and not because of plunderers from without. America, you are plundering yourselves and blind to your actions and their consequences. America the beautiful, oh, how you grieve me! You have become a distillery of lies, and your people drink them in from the press, your educational systems, entertainment channels, and governmental leaders. You merchandise in lies to awaken the fears and hate of your people against each other, so that they don't notice you stealing from them, enslaving them, and hurting them like sheep, so you can satisfy your ambitions. You strike your people on the cheek and then hide your hand, falsely accusing others of delivering the blow. You accuse your opponents of the evils you are guilty of. You call on my name for show, but you seek your blessings from other gods. You worship many gods, and I am the least among them. World domination is your dream. Unrestrained pleasures, your meat. Unlimited power, your aim. Your corporations no longer seek to serve. They seek to dominate and rob. Your healthcare system no longer seeks to heal. It seeks to profit. You benefit from addiction instead of autonomy. Your pharmaceuticals are formulated so that people can never stop taking them, enriching you with guaranteed recurring income while depleting the resources of the sick. You have found there is more profit in addressing symptoms than fixing underlying causes. What you call healthcare is becoming profiteering from sick care. You make vital medicines for a few dollars and then gouge patients with markups too high for them to afford. Your coffers become full while the health of your nation is depleted. Most of the wealth of America is concentrated in the hands of the few, the greedy, the ruthless, and the immoral, many of whom entertain themselves with human suffering and who treat people as products to be used and discarded. Though wealthy, your elite are never satisfied. Though elected, your politicians are seldom truthful. Your courts are biased, and your people abide in ignorant bliss, believing all the downtrodden are responsible for their plight. You victimize victims and make heroes of bullies and tyrants. Still, after all your theological seminaries and Bible training, Sunday morning remains the most segregated hour, not because of cultural preference, which I understand, but because of fear, hate, and a blissful belief in superiority of one ethnicity over another. America is driven by an unconscious and often conscious pledge to imperialism and a pervasive belief in racial supremacy. This racist pathology is embedded deep into the systems of all your institutions. Thankfully, your imperialistic bent has been diluted through the years by a few brave souls of every color and ethnic background that truly believe in brotherhood, and many have died for that belief. Evil spirits flourish in the land that I gave you, the land where I intended my spirit to reign. I watch from my throne and must endure the sight of fathers raping daughters. Innocents snatched from safety to harvest their organs, mothers seducing sons, and life that I breathed into wombs torn out and ground to powder. How can it be that inside the beauty of America, hundreds of thousands of innocents are treated like merchandise and trafficked into the evil clutches of the most cruel and perverted consumers of flesh? Have your evil spirits convinced you that whatever feels good is right to do? Have they hypnotized you with the sensations of throbbing immoral desires? Have they made you believe you are helpless too, but pursue whatever your flesh finds satisfying? Why has it become unclear to you that every desire is not good or right, no matter how urgent, compelling, or enticing it may be or good it feels? That every love is not pure or decent? Do you really think you have the authority or even the wisdom to redesign that which I have designed already, or overturn that which I have installed in your souls to rule your human experiences? Do you believe that outside my way there is a more enlightened path? And what light is it that enlightens these new paths you follow? If you were to check more closely, you would see that light glowing from the embers of hell, lighting the way to purgatory. You burden me with your selfish desires and call them prayers. You abuse my earth and expect no retaliation. Do you not know the earth is a living thing that when abused will protect itself from you and shake you off it like a dog does fleas? You pervert every living thing, from the foods I made for you to the water you drink and the air you breathe, in the name of progress. But the bodies that I made for you will also rebel against you as they pay the penalties for your pollution and abuses. You built monuments and engraved on them tributes to me, but now you dismiss me as if I were a fable, a myth, a fairy tale. You minted your coins and printed your bills declaring, "In God we trust." But where is your trust now? Where is your true worship? I do not feel honored by the elaborate entertainment you call worship. I do not see your trust in anything other than your science, your universities, your institutions, weapons, technologies, and the self-made gods who call themselves philosophers and who think themselves wiser than the words I left on inspired pages. Have I not proven my written word true in prophecies that have become realities? Have I not proved that great sacred book is mine by preserving it for hundreds of years? Why do you seek a new truth? Is it because you don't like what I require of you? Do you think there is more joy outside my will than there is in it? If you believe so, then you are a fool, for the creature cannot abide in lasting joy living outside the principles upon which he was created. If anything would be preserved, it must be true to its nature. I made your nature, and it can only be satisfied in me. Can you not see that your nature is violated by chemical inebriations, undignified and unnatural sexual expressions, undisciplined minds and bodies, fractured families, reversal of male and female roles, and freedom multiplied into anarchy. Why can't you see how dangerous it is to believe you should do whatever makes you happy or feels good? There are absolute truths, my truths, but American society has been duped into believing each person can define their own truth. Do you refuse to believe in me because you cannot see me? Yet you believe in the wind that you do not see, and in trust you hoist your sails so that the wind moves you to and fro across the deep. Do you not feel me? Do you not sense my presence when your science reveals to you the unfathomable order that holds all things above and below together, and chaos in abeyance? My voice rises from the pages of Scripture like a cosmic orator, persuading men to love and obey me. My whispers drift on gentle breezes to comfort you, and my shouts bellow in the rolling thunder to warn you. I can be heard if you will only listen. I can be found if you would only search. You trust governments to give you the desires of your heart because your heart lusts after man-made things and carnal delights. Your affections have cooled towards me, America, and you have forsaken the righteous principles upon which I authorized you to build a nation. But in your haughtiness, in your elevated view of yourselves, you thought you had outgrown my ancient ways, and so you opened yourselves to borderless religious freedom in the name of liberty. Why would you think I would welcome foreign gods and receive them as equals? Have you forgotten how jealous I am? Idols and false gods have always threatened my people in the lands I gave them, but you, America, see them not as threats, but as welcome guests. And your songs are full of proclamations of love. Your movies enact your perception of it. What do you know of love? Know you not that I am love, and only I can define it? You open your minds and your arms to every unnatural affection that human minds can conceive, and call it love. You bear false witness against me, claiming that I am aligned with your illicit practices, that I am well pleased with your fleshly obsessions, perversions, and uncleanness. Yet, I warned you in my holy scriptures that if you bear such false witness against me, I will remove my hand of protection and let the heat of your desires consume you. Like beasts, you go about seeking to fill your bellies and satisfy your animal urges. Like demigods, you bolster your pride and sacrifice your fellow man on the altar of your desires. You pursue that which feels good, though it be not good for you. You harvest poisonous pleasures and justify perverted physical passions because you are ruled by your feelings instead of my principles. Your so-called intelligentsia create and write your laws on paper and in word processors, but I write my immutable laws on the fabric of reality, illustrated on the pages of galaxies, etched into the pillars of your DNA, enforced by cosmic realities beyond your comprehension. Oh, yes. You don't see it readily, but daily, my preternatural deputies impose penalties to the minds, bodies, and spirits of rebels. Men look to science to explain the universe, but they cannot see what I see, for I live outside your reality, and I brought all things into being. They seek a causation for the cosmos when my creative power is the cause. Omnipotent I am, and omnipotent I will always be. How is it that you have more faith in the atheistic ramblings of your scientists and philosophers than in my plainly spoken truths, people of America? My dear American children, don't you feel empty, unfulfilled, anxious, and lost? Aren't you disenchanted with your toys, high achievements, riches, and erotic pleasures? Does sweet sleep elude you and depression pursue you? Does death paralyze you with fear and haunting uncertainty? Do you hunger for peace in your souls? I made you, and I left a space inside you that only I can fill. But you seek to fill my space with possessions, pleasures, fun, prideful achievements, and eroticism. But still you are empty, because that space was made for me. Come to me, America. Put aside your idols and your selfish desires. I am knocking. Swing open the doors to your soul, and I will abide in you, with you, and surround you with true meaning, purpose, and joy. There is no other way to the destination you seek. All other roads lead downward to the abyss. Only my high road leads you to bliss. America the beautiful, will you allow revival to take hold? There is still time. I am displeased when any nation or people perish. Pause. Quiet yourselves, people of America. Pay attention and you will hear my welcome invitation ringing out from every corner of the earth, shouting to you from the trees and whistling through the mountains. My love for you falls in drops of rain upon your lands. Will you wash the falsities from your face and let me see the true beauty I created in you? I am in pursuit of you. My light shines upon you to melt away the darkness in your souls. America, beautiful America, I am Almighty God, and you need me, and I still love you. Open your arms to my invitation, and let us step into the future together, in fellowship and love, and I will spread my mighty wings over you, so that none may assail you. I will sustain your harvests and frustrate your enemies. You municipal, state, and federal leaders, temper your leadership with my values and take care of the people I have placed in your care. People of America, test me, live by my rules of life and thrive. America, in the book of Micah I have told you what I require of you to restore your beauty. It is to do good, do justice, love kindness, and walk humbly with me, your God.